Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I just finished watching my second A-Bomb 79 video of the day, and I thought, well, it's time to do the drawing for the last red dot sight. And I promise you guys there won't be any more red dot or rifle scope sight reviews this year, and probably never. I could see that they're not a real popular thing with my viewers, and I don't need red dots or sights. I got all I can use, so I got tired of it too. Alright, anyway, we haven't drawn for red dot number 3, and I watched A-Bomb make his drawing for Machinery's Handbook, so I thought, well, you know, I haven't finished up with the last red dot sight, so that's a good thing for me to do. And I got some other stuff in this video, just routine junk, you know. You'd probably like it if Keith Rucker did it, or you know, Ox Tulco or Adam Booth, but you may not like it with me doing it, but there it's going to be there anyway. And then the next video that I do, hopefully I'll finally get around to casting some of these wheels that I've been making the models for, the you know, for the molds, and that might look alright. I don't know. I've been recovering from a cold for 2 weeks, and so for the past 2 weeks, every day I get up from sleeping late and I get in my chair in here and I sleep all day, and then I go back to bed and sleep all night. So I haven't got just a whole lot of anything done, and I feel like I'm coming out of it, so I'm going to be back alive again soon, and maybe even making an interesting video. You never can tell. It could happen. It could. So let's get on with the drawing. Alright, I removed the last 2 winners from the list, so we've got 19 names for this drawing. So let's move over here to random.org and change that to 19, and then let's let the folks at random.org generate me a number. That looks like number 13. Now, who is number 13? Number 13 is Chris Bagley, and I can tell you that is Chris B257. He's got his own channel there, and by golly, he's the guy that won it. Good luck there, Chris. If you'll send me your snail mail address, I'll get this thing in the mail to you right off. We'll see how long it takes to get there. Before we get into the next part that you probably won't like, I'm going to cast some wheels for a belt sander. They're wider than Mr. Pete's design because I want a 2-inch belt. And then I'm going to build a belt sander kind of along the lines of this kid over in Arizona. Schmidt, I think is his last name, maybe Joseph Schmidt. He's a pretty smart kid, and he built a really good belt sander, and it's just like the one that Mr. Pete's buddy has. His name's Palmer, and I think I'm going to build one of those. It'll take a while because I've never built one, and I don't even have the materials for it yet, other than the fact that I've got a motor. So we're going to start on that. That'll be our next project, and I don't know if it'll come on a weekly basis. Who can say? Now let's get down to the part that you probably won't like. You see this book here? It's called Setting the Sails. I've had this since I was probably, or I was aware of having it when I was around 10 years old, or somewhere in there. And it was put together by Leonidas Warren Payne Jr., English Department, the University of Texas in Austin, Texas. I don't know how it came into the possession of my family. It's the edition of 1947, and it's got $1.35 written inside the front cover, so I guess it probably came from a used bookstore, and somebody paid $1.35 for the book, it being in a used bookstore. But it's got a lot of stories in it. It's got poetry, you know, stories exploring the world, history stories, adventure stories, and make-believe stuff, you know. I'm going to look up a particular spot here for you guys. And one of the things I guess that I like about this book is the stories tend to have a drift in the direction of where I think, and a sort of philosophical appeal that appeals to me. And here's the one that I was talking about. It's called The Blind Men and the Elephant. And it's on page 242. There's where it starts. But I'm just going to read to you about just the last paragraph here. And there were 6 of these blind men that went to see an elephant. I'll, sort of brought it down here. And each one of them touched a different part of the elephant, and so each one of them thought the elephant looked different. One thought it was a wall, one thought it was like a tree trunk, one grabbed his trunk, thought he was more like a rope, and and so on. And and they all started arguing about what the elephant looked like. And it says, and so these men of Hindustan disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion, exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right, and all were in the wrong. So oft in theologic wars the disputants I ween rail on in utter ignorance of what the others mean, and prate about an elephant not one of them has seen. I like that. And I guess you're kind of wondering, well, what's the old geezer reading us an antique poem out of an antique book for? And this is sort of my way of working and saying, I do these scope reviews and red dot reviews, and I'm not an expert on it. And if you want to make up your mind and figure out what's the best thing to get before you get it, you need to listen to 5 or 6 or 10 different people. Go around YouTube and listen to a lot of different guys. Everybody's got their own viewpoint, and everybody's got their own way of reviewing things. And probably we're all partly wrong and maybe a little bit right, so you need to get your information more than one place, and then measure and weigh it with your previous experience as to what's really the best thing to do. All right. Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.